longevity of training for long so that they can help us reach out to those experts that they've trained and they are already working, just to tell them that there are opportunities, right? We want to give people the choice to be able to choose if you want to, for any reason, want to move. There are these opportunities that you can also take, right? That's that for the employees. For the employers, we've started, like I said, we're a group of persons. I come from the healthcare sector. I've worked with so many companies. So for me, it's an easy entry point because I have colleagues with whom I've worked with. So I can already reach out to and say, okay, this is what we're doing. I know for a fact that they are looking for qualified workers. So that for me, it's not a problem. As soon as when I reach out, and they'll be happy to talk to me and say, okay, what do you have? Let's go for it. We also have within the team, we have IT experts who have worked with different companies that can also help to leverage that. But not limited to that, we are also looking to expand. So we are also looking at other avenues, but it is true that for sure it's one of the challenges for a startup, that how do you get to expand to get to those companies that are we know that they are looking for, but to be able to create that relationship and create that trust, which is one of those the aspects that we are working on to come up with great strategies on how to reach out with the companies that, what about companies that we haven't worked with yet?
Right.
How do we get to know them, get to introduce them the concept so that we can be able to establish a relationship and, and get into a collaboration.
Talking about experts and companies who you would like to enroll into your platform, what would then be their role if they finally accept to join you on board? What would they have to do on the platform? Is it just to place out, as I already said, the job ad, or are there other obligations that are applied to being on board with you?
No, basically what they have to do is that we give them a platform where we know that we have a database of great professionals for them to just come and post their positions. So if you've posted a position maybe on different job boards and you're not able to get good solutions, we are providing you another solution, opening you a new market where you know that when you come to that platform, you're going to have access to a new pool of candidates which you can also exploit, right? So it is also important if you're a company that you are open to international candidates. That's great. But when we talk about that, we also have to look at it from the sense that it's an open situation. So we are now looking, let's look at the African community here in Hamburg, for example. We have experts who are looking for jobs, right?
Course,
right? Nothing stops them from going to the platform, checking for jobs there, getting registered there, and if they see a good position, they apply for it. So it is a situation where we are trying to reach out to as many people as possible, telling them that we have this resource which we've created. We are opening this up to you. So right now, we are talking the initial idea with international candidates, but it doesn't stop somebody who is living in Germany, who maybe might be unsatisfied with his employer or looking to change, can get on the platform, see a position, apply for it, and go get the position. So we are basically just opening opportunities for people.
Okay. So, well, right now we're on the strategic part of how the whole platform works out. So what is a recommendation that you would like to, or you would give to experts who are actually out there and really, like, as you said, they've put job requests out there and they've not yet got feedback. So what would you recommend, or how would you say they would be able to, which strategy should they outgo on when they're on job acquisitions, for instance?
Yes, I have one of my students that I taught at HAW, Hochschule für Angewandte Wissenschaften. He reached out to me. He's reached out with a couple of while when he saw that I was kind of pushing this on social media. He reached out to me and said, when I finished my master's and I did my Weiterbildung, but I've been unable to land a job. And that's the question. The question is, some other person also finished the same master's, some other person finished the same Weiterbildung like you, and this person was able to have a job. What is really hindering you from getting this job? Because sometimes it is about, there are people who have skills but don't know how to sell themselves. There are also people who don't have skills but they are very good at selling themselves. Right. So when you get into the company, you look at them, they talk so well, you're so impressed, but when you start working, you start asking yourself, how did this person land this position? So when you need both, when you, one of the consulting aspects that we're going to do is, for example, if you are still studying And most often when you apply for a job, the employer tells you I need experience. You can't blame the employer because he needs job to get done. He's not an institution to train people. You already got the training. So the question is, how do you equip yourself so that by the time you're approaching the employer, you can tell the employer that I have got skills. I have things that can get the job done, not just theory or practice, but I got that complete package. It means that during your studies, for example, you need to get yourself with internships. Yeah. Get into companies like what you're doing. Get into companies, work. Get to know the working environment. Get to understand how the industry functions. Get a feel of how it means to be with colleagues or work on projects. These are hands-on skills that when you have, even on graduation, you already have something you can tell the employer, this is what I have done, not what I have read. Right. So it changes the dynamic already. Sometimes also it is how you present your documents. When you come to our platform, you will realize that we've set up, when we talk about creating your profile, we set up creating your profile section in such a way that it's like a CV. We ask you the information, you give us the information, and at the end of it, you can print it out. It comes out like a CV. Okay. So you basically create your CV, and you know exactly the skills that you have. So one of the services that we also offer is like consultancy. People who have been trying and they're not getting. What we do is that when you come to us, we simply pair you with experts who are already working on the field, because there are some aspects about specific fields that need some specific skills and some specific aspects that anybody that's not in the field might have general knowledge on how for you to set up your CV or write a motivation letter, but will not have those key aspects. So what we do is that we pair you with people who are already on the field, who can tell you, okay, I've been working in the field, this is what the market looks like. I look at your CV, you have a great CV, but you are lacking this particular aspect that you need to develop that will give you an opportunity to be able to break through into the market. So those are some of the consulting services that we provide. So people who have difficulties, the job board is there, it's open for you, it's free for you. Go there, apply. But when you start having difficulties, I'm not breaking through, I'm not able to find what I'm doing, talk to us. We are there for you. We'll try to link you up with experts that can be able to give you a breakthrough.
So that means, out of what you're saying, your job platform is not limited to specific job areas or business areas. You've been talking so far about the health sector because that's where you started.
Yes.
Does it mean the platform also, what are other business areas that people can actually apply to or seek job for?
Right now, like I said, we are starting with healthcare and IT. Those are the two aspects that we are really focused on right now. Okay. But of course, we just started. We launched the platform 4 weeks ago, and really, we launched the platform on the 3rd of May. 4 weeks ago, we went live 4 weeks ago. So it's really something that's really very fresh, right?
Congrats on that, though.
Thank you very much. So it's been amazing. The feedback has been wonderful, and people are going there. The jobs are there, and people are applying to those positions. So basically, what we are doing is that it's a matter of time, right? We do not want to start too big that we become overwhelmed, and then we start small and we open up. These are the two areas of specialties. But if you want to talk to us about difficulties finding a job, you need consulting services, you can talk to us. You can reach out to us. We have those services, consulting services. I will try to find a way to help you. But right now we have experts on the field in the IT sector and in the healthcare sector that if you have problems getting a job in those fields, you reach out to us. We will pair you with those guys that will go through your curriculum vitae, look at what you're presenting, and guide you on what you can do. Sometimes you're lacking a particular skills that you have to learn, and that is also something that people need to understand. If you lack a particular skill that you don't have, maybe because you haven't had the opportunity to maybe learn through a vital building or through studies, what can you do? You can use your free time to work on projects. We have a lot of AFAOs that you can work on projects that allow you gain that skill to be able to put you in that position. Right? So everything is possible. You have to be strategic and intentional on what you want to achieve. Once you have all of those things put together, you are definitely good to go. And definitely, to be honest, the opportunities are there, but employers need people who can deliver.
Right. So talking about eingetragene Vereine, registered associations here in Germany, are there any you're working with, or since I assume it's just your platform is just 4 weeks old, but do you have the expectation or future perspective of working with these registered associations here in Germany, since they also they have immigrants or migrants who are here in the country and are in search or frustrated because they can't get a job? due to lack of knowledge in the German language, or their skills are not being certified yet here in Germany. So how do you intend working with these registered unions to reach out to the...
Yes, actually, I will start with my own and I'm the president of Anglophone Cameroon Cultural Development Association.
Okay.
And there, the message is going to go in there. But right now, it's a very good point with the we know in our community, and that's why I said this opportunity was a great one to come here and put this message in our community, because I know for a fact that out of experience that sometimes there's a lot of misinformation that goes on in our communities. And let me tell you a short story. Right. About 5 or 6 years ago, I had a friend of mine who came from Cameroon, and when she came in, she was doing just this menial jobs with no skills, right? And at the time I was working at a hospital. So when I was talking with her, she said, I'm interested in working, I'm interested in being a nurse, but they told me that Africans can't be nurses in hospitals, so it's just for white people.
Really?
Yeah. So this is what she said. I'm like, where are you coming from with this kind of crap information? Right? Where's this coming from? I'm talking something like 7 years ago. Right now, things have changed. The opportunities have changed. They're opening. People know, and people are pushing for those. But this is something like 7, 8 years ago. I'm like, where you come from, this crap information? I am in the hospital, and I see every day the hospital is trying everything to get in a qualified profession, or also even to train. They are ready to pay to train. Where you come from, this crap information? Give me your documents. I'll take to the hospital I'm working. And luckily for her, the hospital where I was working, they also had like a school to train nurses. I took her documents and I gave to the school, and today she's an OP Schwester in a hospital at is it Bobeck, I think, yeah. Okay. So that is what we have in our communities, the misinformation. There is a lot of information useful information that we have. And that's what I'm saying, that is like what you're saying, it is extremely important. We want to work with everybody. So I want to use this opportunity to say, if you're listening to this information and it sounds interesting to you, please reach out to us, and we'll find a way to be able to come up with something that we can be able to help to push up the community. Let people know what is available. Let people also know where they can get skills, because sometimes people don't have the skills. They don't know where to go get the skills. We can see where we can work together to know where to get the skills, and then also know where to get the jobs.
All right. So talking about skills and getting jobs, how do you intend to ensure the quality and credibility of experts in the relationship between experts and employers?
So what we have with our platform is that, like any other job board, when a company posts on the job board, anybody can apply for the position. Even a mad person on the road can apply if they want to, right? Good. But what we have is, there is also the aspect where we can refer, right? If a company reach out to us and say, okay, I'm looking for 5 nurses, for example, or I'm looking for 3 software developers. Right? It's a complete different ball game as when the company comes to our platform and posts their position. But when they post their position, we have no control on who applies. Anybody can apply even when they don't know what software development is. But when you reach out to us, then we need to make sure that the candidates that we refer to them have to be verified. And that's where we come in. So definitely. So before we verify, before we refer you to anybody, we definitely have to verify who we are referring and what this person does, because at that point our credibility is also on the line.
Yeah, right. So I know it may be too early to be asking this, but of course every beginning has a little bit of its challenges and a bit of its success stories. It's had for a milestone being crossed. Do you have any milestone that you say, your team and yourself, you're super proud that you were able to achieve this within these 4 weeks since you launched your platform?
Right now, like you said, it's early, but the good news is that we have jobs on the platform that you can apply to. That is something that we're extremely proud of, because it has taken a lot to be able to get those jobs on the platform. But what we are going to be able to measure ourselves in the next a couple of weeks is to find people who have actually gotten jobs because of our platform. And if anybody who has been able to apply to a job knows that applying for a job is not a walk in the park, right? If you're applying for a job, you have to be consistent, you have to be persistent, and you have to stay on it. I do not know anybody who applied for a job the first time and got the job. I know nobody like that.
Impossible.
So that's why to say that if somebody would have calls me today and say, okay, I had a job because of your platform in 4 weeks. Wow, I'll look at that like a miracle, because 4 weeks to get a Zusage or to get like an approval in 4 weeks, it's almost impossible, right? So we're just a couple of weeks in. Those are the kind of things that we want. If you use our platform and you ending up get the job, reach out to us, right? We are also open for feedback. Feedback must not always be positive or negative. Even negative feedback, we take that because it helps us grow. Right. So we are open for that. So if you use the platform and you find something that you think, okay, I'm having challenges doing this or have this problem, reach out to us and we will use that as a means to get better.
So how can people get on the job platform? What are the procedures to get onto the platform? Is there any registration which is needed? Or is it just like other job platforms we know, like Stepstone, where you just have to click in and log in, and then you have your job applications available or your job vacancies available?
So for the platform is completely free of charge. All you need to do is to sign up. In the sign up page, you just put in your email address, you put in your password, and you sign up. You'll find the jobs. When you get inside, you find the jobs. But we advise that when you go inside, there is an account section. Go inside there and create your account. This create your account simply means that you put in information. There's a section I talked about that's like a CV that you put in that CV section, because employers have two possibilities with the platform. It's either they want to manage their applications within the platform, or they want to manage their applications on their website. So we gave them that possibility. So if they have to manage their applications within the platform and you go to apply for a job without making sure that your account section is completely filled out, means that you've basically sent the employer garbage, and you should not be surprised when you get back a decline. So that's why we recommend, with the sign up, you are inside, but we recommend that go to the account section, put in your information like a CV. You can also use that like a CV. You can actually print it out, use that, so that when you are applying, you are sure that if it's an application that stays within the platform, you are sending the employer the right information. If it's going out, you also send the employer the right information.
Okay. So I just mentioned a few job platforms which we all know here, even globally, like Stepstone. Now we have LinkedIn or Indeed. How does it differentiate? How does Experts differentiate from these platforms?
Experts, the original idea is concentrated on international workers. That's why we say we are tailored on healthcare and IT, right? For sure, in every idea that starts, it develops itself. We are focused on international. It means that talking now in the African community, you can recommend experts for your brother or sister who is back home, who has the skills, the qualification, the experience to be able to use. But also you can also use experts for yourself, because it's digital, right? It's digital, it's there. So you never know what position you will find where, but the original idea is for international positions, English-speaking positions. That's the original idea. But of course, we know in healthcare you have to speak German, so that's something. But for IT is the language is English. We also have, of course, we have IT jobs that are in German, but we are focused on those international jobs. But those international jobs, those of us who live here also need those jobs, right? So it is there for our community. It's either for us to refer them back to our brothers, sisters back home who can use this, but also we can also use them for ourselves. And that's why I want to use the opportunity to say that if there are any employers, I don't know, African employers, Asia, whatever, who are interested to reach out to us, we see how we can also we can work together to open this up, because it's an opportunity for our community to also make use of this resource.
So we at the beginning, I would like to go back to where we started, like with people who find themselves in wrong job fields because they haven't really gone into research or asked themselves questions about what they would really like to do. How would you deal with such a situation on your platform where you have a job profile that doesn't really match to what the expert is trying to apply for. Do you really look into that? Do you have the chance to also give your opinion or your advice or consultation on that?
Yes, if they reach out to us, for sure. But if they just create a profile, let me say, okay, for example, we say we are focusing now on IT and healthcare, and then somebody who was maybe political science or sociology creates a profile there. If we have to start responding to those individual profiles, then we'll definitely not get our own work done.
Right.
It's impossible, right? But if they reach out to us, because most often, like nowadays, the opportunities are limitless. There's absolutely no reason why there should be anybody who is doing a job that is not a skillful job. There's absolutely no reason, because the opportunities are limitless. If you go to Agentur für Arbeit, they're always there ready to beraten you. But of course, the Agentur für Arbeit also has like data on the market situation. So when you go there for beratung, they'll recommend you to go into those fields where they know they lack people. Right? So what happens is that my advice I can give is not a secret, is that always make sure that before you decide or agree to take on a training, on whatever training, vital building, whatever, that you have an opportunity to go through the job boards, for example. Look at the working conditions of those in those professions. I've had so many situations where people spend years, months doing a vital building, and then they got into the job like, wow, is this what I learned? So you're selling after the market. So you should have done your research before taking the training.
Right.
So how do you do the training? Somebody might ask, so how do I get the training to know exactly what I'm getting to? You have to go to the job boards, look at the job description, look at the working conditions. Do I find myself fitting? Do I look at my lifestyle? Does it fit into that? Do I look at does it fit? Talk to experts, people who are already working in the field, right? Talk to people. Do you know somebody who works in the field? How does it look like to work in this field? How does it feel like? What financial remuneration do I get for it? What is my work-life balance like? Is it something I can deal with? Get that information. Even talk to the barata. Say, what does it look like to fit in the field? Get your information. When you get your information, you can now best analyze and say, okay, this works for me, this doesn't work for me, before you step into the training. Because there's nothing more frustrating than investing time and energy, and at the end you're like, I took one step forward and 3 steps back. Very demoralizing. And we want to avoid that. Basically, in our community, there's absolutely no reason why today there is anybody who cannot be able to get a skillful job. Absolutely no reason.
Right. That's a point. But okay, let's get back onto the platform. Assuming I would say I would like to, right after our show, I'd like to go on to your platform, experts, and register. How sure am I, or how would I be sure that my data is safe with you? Since talking about data protection, data policy, and all those stuff.
Exactly, that's a good question. So what we have on experts is when you create your profile, you also have the possibility to delete at any time. So it's something that before you sign up, we have our AGBs where you can read through and you voluntarily say, okay, I accept to provide this data to these people. But nevertheless, when you've created it and at one point in time you feel like, okay, I'm not sure what exactly these people are doing with data, you always have the possibility of deleting your profile from our platform.
Okay. Well, yeah, fine. And how would you say, or how would I know that, okay, I'm being matched as an expert to a certain job opportunity? Is there a process that you guys follow on your platform to make the employers or the employees feel secured while they go through the job application process? Or is it that after they apply, your job is done on that side and they would have to take it from there with the companies?
So when they apply, the application process, the companies come and they put their jobs on the platform. Once they apply, we are out.
Okay. So it's more or less, I wouldn't want to say it's a classic job portal like Stepstone, like LinkedIn.
Yes,
that we
once you apply, once you send your application, we are out. You're dealing directly with the company. Our goal is really to put people directly with the companies. We don't influence the companies, but what we can do is to influence your outcome. How do we do that? We don't influence the companies by preparing you the best way possible to improve on the possibility of what comes out. So it means that if you apply for 100 jobs, which is nowadays in the job world is normal, you've been applying for so many jobs and getting just rejections, and you say, okay, I want to seek your services. Can you guys help me to look into my situation and see why am I not getting to the goal that I'm looking for? There we come in, we can analyze your situation and see where exactly there are loopholes and how we can support you. But the process of application, once the application, we have absolutely no influence on that. You are directly with the companies, and even the outcome, or like you talk about data protection, at that point you give the data, we have absolutely no influence on that.
Okay, so I'm moving down to my final questions. What are the prospects that you have with the platform experts? Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years to come?
So in the next 5 years, a very good question. The next 5 years, like I said, we're starting with a job board, but definitely we'll develop the consultancy. And of course, we are looking to get into more areas, right? So when we look at, of course, we have areas, if I want to look within the African community, if I look just within Germany, there are areas where you have people who either have difficulties finding jobs, or you also have employers, Africans who have created their companies and they're looking for workers, but these workers are within the community, but they are not getting to them. So our goal is just to connect. We want to connect those dots. Why should we have that? We have the workers, we have the creators, the employers. Our goal is really to connect those dots. So connect those dots, if it is internationally or nationally, we want to connect that. And so it's definitely in 5 years, we're not going just to be limited to healthcare and IT. We're going to spread out. But the next area that we get into has to be determined by the market, right? Determined within the demand within the market. And that's why I'm telling the employers, reach out to us, talk to us. There's definitely something that we can sit together and work out.
Okay, and that leads me to my last question, Mr. Asang. How would you encourage experts to maintain an updated profile when they finally get the access to the platform? How can they do that? Like, is it just a one-time thing, or they can be updating it from time to time?
Yeah, definitely, because we know every day that passes, we gain more experiences, right? We gain more skills. So definitely, if you have your CV today, you apply for a job, you get a job. After a couple of years, months or years, you for one reason want to change your job, or you left your job, you want to apply again, so you have to update. That's basically that. So it's a continuous process. If you're using our platform, we say each time you get there, if you know you have a skill that you've added, just go ahead, update your profile so that you make sure that what you're sending to the employer is updated.
All right. On this note, I'd like to say a big thank you to you, Mr. Asang, and also a big thank you and shout outs to the team behind this great platform. We wish you all the best, and especially to our Black community. Here is an opportunity for you. Go grab it, especially those of us who are shy and not really bold enough to go get jobs that we really deserve based on our qualifications. Here we have the platform, which is genuinely created for us by our very own person. So to my viewers and listeners, in case you haven't logged in onto the platform or haven't heard about the platform experts, don't hesitate to visit the platform or the website. It's very easy, user-friendly. I tried it or visited it myself. You can just sign up or log in with your details and get the job you deserve.
For sure. Thank you so much for having me. If you want to check out the platform, it's at www.expaps.com. EXPABS.com. You can find us on Facebook at Experts Across Borders. If you have any questions, reach out to us. We are there for you. Thank you so much for having me. It was an amazing time. And also thank you to your audience as well.
All right. Thank you too for joining us this evening on a busy Wednesday like this. And to my audience, to my listeners out there, thank you for tuning in. As you know, it's your girl Nadia. I brought the show Experts Across Borders your way today, Wednesday, 29th of May, 2024. And on this note, before we end, I'd like to wish our technical director, Mr. Johnny Amwaku, a special happy birthday. thank you for being so diligent, always present for us whenever we need you. He's the main man behind all the production, all the videos, all the side effects you see and on the platform currently, or on our social media pages, YouTube, on all our videos. This is the handwork of Mr. Johnny Amwaku. We wish you a happy birthday. May all your silent prayers and wishes come to pass. A special happy birthday to you, and also thank you to all those who tuned in, and see you on my next show in 2 weeks. Thank you all, and have a good night.
Thank you. Bye-bye.